Na po ng umaga at unahin ko na to partner kasi baka
Sige.
tatamaan ito ng ano, no?
Diretso kasi mamaya.
Mamaya ng hearing. Eto, hanap mo ba yung supplement na all-in-one? Nako, ito ba yung pag-inom natin araw-araw? Maiwasan nating tubuan ng bukol, yung ating katawan, maiwasan yung mga inflammatory diseases at karamdaman dulot ng bakterya. Supplement na may taglay na antioxidant at anti-tumor at antibacterial properties. Ano pang hinintay? Mga kasama, punta na po sa butika. Hanapin po ang Centro Plus Herbal Capsule. Epektibong suplemento para maiwasan ang mga karamdaman. Available na rin po ito sa South Star Drugstore nationwide. Hanapin lamang po yung may tatak na Doc Samaritan. Sabayan din ang pag-inom ng Mighty C. Ang alkaline na vitamin C, naku, magandang kombinasyon at epektibo. Bumili po ng Mighty C at Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. At ito pa ho mga kaibigan, mga kasama. Andito lang po ang Turbo Food Supplement for Men. Naku, makatutulong po ito sa relasyong mag-asawa at na baka yung mga kalalakihan ho dyan. Naku, wala na hong kalatoy-latoy. Ito ho, Turbo Food Supplement for Men. Dahil sa ito po may natural na ingredients tulad po ng maca at clavo huasca. Ayun, magbibigay po ng tunay na bagsik at lakas pang matagalan. Sa Turbo Food Supplement for Men, naku, mas lalakas ka pa. At meron ba tayong kape dyan? Parang malamig-lamig dito. Partner, malamig ang panahon.
Kape. Mm-hmm.
Ito ho, yung Nature Soya Coffee. Naku, napatunayan po ng mga eksperto na makatutulong na pagtibayin yung ating kailangan mo pag matibay ang ating immune system, di ba? Talagang hindi ka dadapuan ng sakit. Nature Soya Coffee. Patimpla ka nga parang Ray Albesa ng Nature Soya Coffee. At samantala, para po sa mga karagdagang impormasyon o detalye, maaari kayo mag-text sa 0927-519-2267. Hanapin po si Kiko Tebes. O maaari pumunta dito po sa TCXL 4th floor, Guadalupe Commercial Complex, EDSA, Makati. Okay? Parang Ray, meron pa ba tayong commercial dyan? Ay, banat na natin yan para pagpasok ng ng special coverage ay wala tayong utang. Okay, sandali lang ho Ang oras, 10:23.
Marami na ang natulungan ng Santon Plus Herbal Capsule.
Sinubukan ko uminom Santon Plus once a day kasi mayroon akong rayuma. Sumasakit yung dalawa kong paa. Nag-umpisa akong uminom, may naramdaman akong maganda yung pakiramdam. Encourage ko po kayo na uminom ng Santon Plus, maganda sa katawan. Nagpapasalamat po ko sa Santon Plus kasi malaki pong tulong sa naramdaman ko na arthritis at yung rayuma. At magaling na yung paa ko. Hindi na sumasakit.
Kayo rin, mag Santon Plus Herbal Capsule na. Mabibili sa mga butika.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Santon Plus Herbal Capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Wala pang pagsubok na dumating sa iyo na hindi nararanasan ng lahat ng tao. Tapat ang Diyos at hindi niya ipapahintulot na kayo'y subukin ng higit sa inyong makakaya. Sa halip, pagdating ng pagsubok, bibigyan niya kayo ng lakas upang mapagtagumpayan iyon. Unang liham sa mga taga-Korinto, Kabanata 10, Talata 13. Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3.
Whatever your laundry needs, Pride Detergent is all you need.
Ay, ang anak ko, basketball ang bisyo. Pag-uwi, puro pawis at dumi ang damit. Siguradong may bakteriyang nakakapit. Kaya, Mrs., all you need is Pride.
Pride Antibacterial Detergent. May triple action formula. Ang power bula na mabisang panlaban sa bakterya.
Basta panlaban sa bakterya, all you need is Pride. All you need is Pride.
Pride Antibacterial Detergent. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Narito ang isang patunay ng sarap at bisa ng Nature Soya Coffee.
Ako si Richard Molinito, mabilis mapagod at sumasakit ang dibdib ko dahil sa kape. Naghanap ako ng natural, nag-Nature Soya Coffee ako. Enjoy ko ng kape kasi 0% caffeine.
Kape mo ng cafe, Nature Soya Coffee. Mabibili sa limang suking butika.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Nature Soya Coffee ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Radyo Trabaho. Ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay.
Eli Saludar, RMN, Centro Serbisyo.
Okay, oras na po natin, 10:26 na ho ng umaga. At inantabayanan lang po natin yung pagsimula ng pagdinig dyan po sa Senado na may kinalaman pa rin dito po sa GCTA law. Okay, partner, at abangan natin dahil sa maganda para para ito po ay magkaalaman na kung sino-sino ba mga kumita rito.
Yun.
Oo, importante rito sana may mangyari, partner, sa investigasyon ng Senado.
Pero ano ba, partner, pagkatapos sa investigasyon nilang?
Wala na, hindi. Magre-recommenda lang sila. At siyempre,
yun nga
in aid of legislation yan, gagawa po sila ng batas o kung ano mga dapat amyendahan dito sa batas na ito. Kung nakikita ko, ang ganda ng batas partner. Kaya lang, inabuso lang.
Yun na naman.
Talagang nakatsyempo ho. Ginawang pinagkwartahan ho kaya ang dami po mga batas sa atin dito nagkakatalo sa implementasyon.
At saka partner, nakakarindi bilang Pilipino. Hanggang dyan sa kulungan may ganyan pa rin issue.
Okay, partner. Doon tayo sa Senado.
Sige. Dapuan po natin mula po naman dyan sa Senado sa XL Radyo Mandos, Joyce Adra.
DZXL Report.
Dapat na pagdinig ng Senado kaugnay ng kontrobersiya sa pagpapatupad ng good conduct time allowance sa mga convicted na preso. Kung anong nakarang pagdinig ng Webes ay no-show si dating Bucor Chief Nicanor Feldon. Ngayong araw naman ay maaga siyang dumating sa Senado. Gayon din ang iba pang opisyal ng Bucor at resource person. Sa ngayon ay nagsasagawa na ng roll call ang Senado sa mga present o sa mga dumadalong resource persons. Pakinggan natin.
Chief Senior Inspector Maria Belinda Banzil of Bucor and Miss Veronica Bunyo from Bucor also. Those are our guests, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you and good morning. Thank you all for coming here today. We have, who is the Secretary of Justice here present by any chance? Are the Secretary of Justice? Why? Afterwards. What's that problem? All of them. Oh. Nothing problem. All right. I'll go first to Secretary Feldon. Undersecretary Feldon. You're all under oath. By the way, can you administer the oath to the new ones? Yung mga bagong dating dito, kayo lang kayo, Belinda, Mabel, Veronica.
Pakitay lang po. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this investigation? Pakisabing oo po kung sangayon kayo. Thank you po. Pakiupo lang po.
Undersecretary Feldon, you are familiar with 953, Department Order 953?
I'm not familiar, Your Honor.
That is the order of the Department of Justice under Secretary Kagiwa. Kagiwa, no? Secretary Kagiwa, before you took over the Bureau of Prisons. And have you read it?
I've listened to the specific orders been repeatedly cited in this honorable court, Your Honor. In this honorable...
Hindi niyo pa nabasa?
After the first session, sir, I read it. After the first hearing, sir, when it was pointed out here, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I read it, sir. But prior to that...
namatay, mahirap din po ipaliwanag yan. Kaya po, pagka nag-expired na po yung sentence niya, pinaprocess po talaga namin yon para mai-release na po siya.
Ang dami mo na sulutan, tinatanong ko lang kung alam mo yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alam mo?
Yes, sir.
Ang sinasabi mo, hindi applicable dito?
Sir, nung implementation po ng 10575, yes sir, hindi po namin in-apply.
Bakit?
Kasi po, ang 10575 po na batas na galing din dito, doon po kami nag-rely na ang control po
Okay, no? Ayan, nakalagay dyan, pati GCD, nakalagay dyan eh. Ba't mo sasabihin hindi applicable yan?
Sinunod lang po namin sir itong sa aming tingin applicable po itong RA 10575 sir.
Iyon lang ang sinusunod nyo, hindi yung mga department orders.
Pero ano po, sumusulat din po kami sa DOJ tungkol sa pag-release po ng mga tao na expired na po yung sentence. In fact, 3 beses po kaming, may letter po kami, 3 beses po kaming sumulat sa DOJ para ma-revoke po ang 953 citing 10575, the repealing clause of 10575 na nare-repeal na po ng 10575 ang 953. Your Honor.
The repeal, that is your opinion?
Yes, Your Honor. No, sir. It's in the law, sir. Andito po ang RA 10575 po.
Is?
Yung repealing clause.
Yan na sinasabi ko eh. Yung law was enacted 2012, right? 2012. Tapos, nag-expand yan. Because pag may law, naglalabas yung hepe ng agency, like in the case of this secretary, Kagiwa, naglalabas siya ng administrative order. So, nahuli administrative order, correct?
Correct lang po, yung implement...
No. Yeah. Malinaw yan. And in statutory construction, di ba, dapat nahuli. Although, mas mabigat, mas matimbang yun sa legislative act kaysa doon sa department order. But department orders are supposed to interpret what the rules are concerning GCTA, concerning expiration of sentence. Would you agree?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, you agree. Now, Undersecretary Pardon, please disabuse your mind, ha? Wala akong personal sa iyo. Not sa inyo. Ito we're just trying to do our job here, no? Para malinaw, kasi headline kayo na sa inquirer, parang pinipersonal ko pati presidente. Hindi totoo yun. And I don't have to explain myself. You know me. Now, I just want to say this. Papakita ko sa iyo ngayon itong release ng order. Ano ba yun? Pwede lang yan. Ito subject. Release of persons deprived of liberty. Sanchez Antonio E. Leza, N95 SP 04281. Tama ba yan? For having served 40 years upon retroactive application of Republic Act 10592. 95 yan, 92. Tataka ko siya, but I want 10595 eh. Alright? At pursuant to the provisions of Article 70 of the revised Penal Code. Date, August 20, 2019. Okay na lang. References, and I quote, references Department Order Number 953, dated November 26, 2015. So alam nyo,
hindi po dumaan sa akin yung...
Pero alam ni Nick, alam mo yan, di ba? Pinirma mo yan eh.
Yes, sir. I signed that document, sir, but the exact wordings of the 953
Hindi
until
mo na nabasa,
recently.
hindi mo na nabasa maigi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but the point is, nakalagay dyan, Private Order 953 dated November 26, 2015. Decision of the Consolidated, help me out, petition with GR numbers 212,719 and 214537. Malabo rin kasi dito. Buka po dito. Ayan. In compliance with tapos nakalagay dyan, other documents, no? Other said documents. In compliance with the above reference PDL, last name Sanchez, first name Antonio, middle name Leza, visa number N95P-0481, actual TS 2630, TS with TA 49, B21. Who was found to have served 40 years upon retroactive application of RA number 10592 and was certified to have no other legal cause to be further detained shall be released from commitment. 3. The process of release shall be subject to strict compliance with pertinent laws, rules, and regulations. 4. Submit report of compliance to the Office of the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections within 5 days from the actual date of release. Copy furnished the Chief Document Section. Signed, Yusek Nicanor, E. Pahilanga, Director General. Signed. You're familiar with this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tanggap mo ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So sa madaling sabi, alam nyo talaga may 953. At alam nyo na doon sa 953, kailangan susundin natin, halimbawa, balik nyo doon sa 953. 953, please. Does somebody have to? Who's handling? Alright. Sa 953, malinaw na malinaw dito na I will read it to you. Para mas madali. Part order now, 953. In the interest of the service and pursuant to the provisions of existing laws, the following rules procedure is hereby adopted. Ayun pala. The following rules procedure is hereby adopted on the release of prisoners with expired and or expiring prison sentence. I just have a question. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng expiring? Nick?
The specified number of years or the term has been served, Your Honor.
The term has been served.
Yes, Your
Does that include computation of GCDA?
It includes the computation of GCT. That is my understanding, Your Honor.
Do you agree, Attorney? So sa din sabi, expired na siya. Dahil na-compute na yung GCDA. Pero ito nakalagay, no? Number 1, the release of all national prisoners with expired sentence shall be approved by the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections or his authorized representative in accordance with the mandate of the Bureau to exercise authority, jurisdiction over matters pertaining to the operations of the prisons. Malinaw? Malinaw yung paragraph na sa'yo, Nick?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. The said authority of the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections to release of national prisoners shall not apply to prisoners, inmates sentenced to life imprisonment or reclusion perpetual or high-risk inmates whose release due to expired sentences shall only be implemented upon prior approval of the Secretary of Justice. You're aware of that?
Not prior to this inquiry, Your Honor.
Prior to this inquiry. Okay. Ang sinasabi mo, di mo alam ito dahil di mo nabasa bago prior to this inquiry. Pero lumalabas dito, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Lawyer, Attorney Santos, ang kalagay dito, malinaw, shall not apply to prisoners, inmates sentenced to life imprisonment or reclusion perpetua. So malinaw, hindi sila pwede. Alright. 3. In cases where the release of prisoners shall require the approval of the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections, only the Bureau shall furnish the Secretary of Justice with a list of inmates due to be released at least 1 month before their expected date of release. Naintindihan mo yan, Mr. Fenlon?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, madaling sabi, kailangan 1 month before their expected date of release dapat masasabihan ng Secretary of Justice. Nangyari po ba yan?
No, Your Honor.
Hindi nangyari. Okay. 4. In all cases and in order to ensure that the computations made by the Bureau of Corrections is accurate, specifically as regards the grant of good conduct time allowance, credit for preventive imprisonment, and other similar credits affecting the sentence of an inmate, the Director General of the Bureau of Customs shall issue a certification as to the correctness and accuracy of the computation of the credits granted and expiration of sentence of the prisoners affected. Naintindihan po rin yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Dapat mag-i-issue kayo ng certification, ano po?
Yes, Your Honor, according to the department order, Your Honor.
Nangyari po ba yan?
No, Your Honor.
Hindi nangyari. Okay. Thank you. This order, notwithstanding, the Secretary of Justice shall not be prevented from requiring submission for review of the department documents necessary for the release of inmates when circumstances warrants. All issuances affecting the release of inmates due to be expired sentence, particularly Memorandum Order Number 17 dated 19 December 2007, is hereby repealed, revoked, amended, and or modified accordingly. The order shall take effect immediately upon further orders. Signed, Alfredo Benjamin Cagiwa, Justice na yun ng Supreme Court. Now, lumalabas dito sa nakita ko sa inyo na talaga pumirma kayo ang Secretary Fenlon doon sa Memorandum of Release. Ano sinasabi niya, di ba? Para yung process magsimula na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero hindi nyo sinabihan si Secretary of Justice na meron na kayong computation, hindi kayo nag-certify. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi kayo nagsabi. Sinabi nyo na yan kanina. Now, having said that, nasaan yung release? Itong release order, nakita nyo, kayo pumirma dito, doon sa release order ni Sanchez. Kayo po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. So, hindi totoo na hindi nyo na lalabas siya.
As I explained it, sir, in the previous hearing, to be exact, 1 hour and 25 minutes, I recall that order, Your Honor, on the same date of
Yeah, of course.
August 20.
Understand. I'm going there. I'm going to that point.
Yes,
So,
sir.
pinirmahan nyo, practically on the same day, about an hour or an hour and a half, withdraw nyo. Pero po ba kayong papel na nagpapatunay na withdraw nyo?
I have not issued
Recall order.
Yes, Your
Walang
Honor.
recall order.
I verbally instructed my admin officer to recall it, Your Honor.
So, all of us have to rely on your word na withdraw nyo. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, sir, it can be easily verified, Your Honor, because the entire Bureau knows it, Your Honor.
Opo. Having said that po, ano nangyayari ngayon, ang laking gulo na nangyayari, no? I don't know whether it's fair or unfair to all the parties, but certainly, nagkagulo dyan dahil siguro, alam naman nyo kung bakit ini-issue itong administrative order ni Secretary of Justice, ano po? Nagiwa. Ang tawag ko dyan, pardon the expression, cover your ass memo. Tinatakpan mo yung sarili mo. Kung sakaling magkakamali yung mga tao mo, sinabihan kayo, nagawin nyo ito. Halimbawa, sabihin niya na, sinabihan ko yan hindi nila ginawa. Yung itong release of national prisoners with expired sentence shall be approved by the Director General or his authorized representative in accordance with the mandate of the Bureau to exercise authority jurisdiction over matters pertaining to the operation of prisons. So, talagang dinidefine niya ang sarili niya for a future event. Tama yun? Nakita, oo ka. 2, the said authority of the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections to release of national prisoners shall not apply to prisoners inmates sentenced to life imprisonment or reclusion perpetua or high-risk inmates whose release due to expired sentences shall only be implemented upon prior approval of the Secretary of Justice. In other words, kung nabasa nyo ito, dapat alam nyo na kailangan may approval ang Secretary of Justice. Tama mo ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
So ginawa niya yan para magkaroon siya ng pangkuble na may order siya na dapat kayo ay sasabihan nyo siya. Eh hindi nagawa yan, so hindi niya alam. Pangatlo, sabi niya, in cases where the release of prisoners shall require the approval of the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections, only the Bureau shall furnish the Secretary of Justice with a list of inmates due to be released at least 1 month before the expected date of release. Again, pakoble. Bago kayo mag-release, 1 month before the release. Ano ka na 1 month before their expected date of release. Ibig sabihin, yung sinabi nyo kanina, memorandum lang yun, meron na kayong expectation na i-release nyo na. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, hindi, sabi nyo kanina, hindi na nasabihan si Secretary. Now, 4, in all cases and in order to ensure that the computations made by the Bureau of Corrections is accurate, specifically as regards the grant of good conduct time allowance, GCTA, credit for preventive imprisonment, CPI, kasi kukumpitin rin yun yung kulong niya doon sa detention, and other similar credits affecting the sentence of an inmate, the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections shall issue a certification as to the correctness and accuracy of the computation for the credits granted and expiration of sentence of the prisoners affected. Tama mo yan? No. Tama mo yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
So magsa-certify kayo. Ito pala ko doon sa life imprisonment. Labas na yun, di ba? Ito doon lang sa mga iba. Pero sa life imprisonment, no. Hindi pwede. Hindi pwede na papalabas kayo ng life imprisonment ng walang prior approval ng Secretary of Justice. Halinaw po ba yan? Sir?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So, lumalabas itong memorandum order na ito, department order na ito, ay talagang para nag-iingat. Ang tawag doon, due diligence or extraordinary diligence pa ang tawag dyan. Dahil pag nakalusot na yan, nahihirapan na tayo. Malaking gulo. So, ginawa yan ng Secretary of Justice to protect the Bureau, to protect the Secretary para hindi ka magkakamali. Hindi siya magkakamali dahil dapat alam niya yung ginagawa mo. At hindi ka rin magkakamali dahil sinabi na sa inyo, ito ang patakaran. Tama po ba yan? Sir?
Yes, sir. According sa Department Order 953, Your Honor.
So in other words, nag-iingat na ay such a measure of prudence. Ano bang prudence sa Tagalog? Prudence, activity, or assiduity as is properly to be expected from ordinarily exercised by a reasonable and prudent man under the particular circumstances not measured by any absolute standard but depending on the relative facts of the special case. Yan po Black's Law Dictionary. In other words, dapat lahat kayo, meron kayong due diligence na ginagawa. Kaya talagang mag-aaral. Ngayon, sir, kahit na hindi nyo nabasa itong order na ito, tatanungin ko kayo ngayon. Palagi nyo, nag-due diligence kayo, alam nyo na ito si Sanchez ay malaking kaso ito, 9 cases of life imprisonment, at robbery with, murder with rape, ang kaso niya, dapat siguro nag-due diligence kayo, dapat nag-ingat kayo. Tama po ba yan? Of course, it's just all disrespect. Nangyari na yan Wala na tayo magagawa.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good.
DZXL Special Coverage.
Mr. Chairman,
Microphone, please.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm not surprised with the answer of Yusek Paildon if he said he was not aware. But I am very much surprised at the answer of Attorney Santos. Because Attorney Santos and Chief Superintendent Faustino, how long have you been with Bucor?
23 years, Your Honor. 23 years.
23 years. In the release of Chen Chan ETs, you complied with 953. You wrote Secretary Aguirre. You informed Secretary Aguirre. And then thereafter, the release was not completed until 2019, but you did. In other words, you know about 953. Why are you telling the chairman that you don't? That you are even Chief Faustino?
May I explain the
Yes.
case of Chentis Chan? Sir, si Chentis Chan po, nasa Leyte yan. Nakakuha siya ng 2 stall. Time allowance for loyalty.
Hindi yung pinag-usapan natin. We don't care about Chen, whatever his name is. I'm saying, you were telling the chairman that you don't know, you're not aware and you did not follow 953 because it was already repealed. The law that you're citing was enacted in 2012. The 953 was in 2015. In 2017, you complied. You informed the Secretary of Justice. So how come now in 2019 hindi nyo na ginagawa at ang sagot nyo dito ay hindi ninyo alam?
Your Honor,
we have the records. We have all your memo. We have all your written memorandum.
Hindi lang po mag-isa si Chentis Chan, mga 300 plus po yan na naka-avail ng stall sa Leyte. Tapos, nung naka-avail po siya ng stall, nagpaalam po kami sa DOJ, may sulat po kami na i-release siya mga yan. Just so happen at si Chentis Chan nag-file po ng habeas corpus sa Supreme Court. Umattend po ako ng hearing dyan sa Cagayan de Oro. At nung meron ng habeas corpus sa Cagayan de Oro, nag-issue po ang DOJ na granted ang stall ni Chentis Chan. Siya lang po mag-isa. Kaya po na-release siya.
Ano ka noong panahon na yun? Di ba abogado ka na ng Bucor?
Sa 2017 po ako naging abogado ng Bucor.
Kaya nga, 2017 ito eh. 2017 ito eh.
Lahat po ng mag-expired ang sentence, a month before, pinapadala po namin sa DOJ yan. Pagka po dumating na yung expiration of sentence nila, pinalalabas na po namin kasi baka mamaya, pag nasa loob, pag nasaksak yan, pagka namatay, mahirap pong ipaliwanag din yun.
Mr. Chairman, sabi nga ng mga professor, the resource person is unresponsive.
Please answer the question.
I'm saying, alam nyo, ino-comply ninyo yung 953 before. Bakit pagdating dito kay Sanchez, hindi nyo alam? That's why I'm saying, I'm not surprised at the answer of Yusek Paildon sapagkat 1 year plus lang siya dyan. Kayo, 33 years kayo dyan eh. Alam nyo yung 953, ginagawa ninyo dati, ba't hindi nyo na ginagawa ngayon? That was the question.
Sir, with the advent of when we received the order from the Supreme Court, the decision, sir, immediately executory po yun. Ang nakalagay doon, recompute and release with immediate dispatch if there are no legal basis to hold them. Yun po ang ginawa namin basis, yung pong decision.
You're talking about the retroactive effect of the law. Hindi naman yun ang issue rito. Ang issue dyan na tinatanong sa iyo, no, si Secretary Aguirre pa, Secretary of Justice, kung magpapalabas kayo, sinasabi niyo sa kanya, papalabasin na ito.
Correct, panahon ni Ragas.
Pero ngayon, ayan si Secretary Paildon, hindi niyo ginawa. Bakit? Walang kinalaman yung retroactive dyan. Walang kinalaman.
Wala,
Yun nga po, sir. Baka ma-arbitrary detention naman kami dun sa amin.
Paano kayo ma-arbitrary detention?
Sir, delaying release of a prisoner po.
Sorry?
Delaying release of a prisoner.
Kasi lang, life imprisonment yan, nakalagay sa order ng Secretary of Justice, hindi po yan pakialaman, kailangan Secretary of Justice, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo. Basta nakakatakot yung papalabasin nyo, hindi dapat lumabas. Go ahead, sir.
I am lost. The response is obvious.
Yes.
Ano? Kinakaila na alam nila.
Bakit kinakaila mo?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, you are. Sabi mo kay Aguirre, and that was just before Secretary Ibarra came in, sinasabihan nyo, magpapalabas kami dito. Ngayon, sa Secretary Pahilanga, hindi nyo na sinunod.
Sir, sinabi po namin yan.
Ha?
Sinabi po namin yung ano,
Kanino?
Yan na kay Sir, yan 953 na yan.
Sinabi mo kanino?
Kay General na meron pong ganyan. Ang nangyari po kasi...
Importante ito. Sinabi mo kay Secretary Pahilanga kailan? Bago niya pinirmahan.
Sir, I can't remember that.
Ano you cannot remember? You better have a good memory here. You're a lawyer.
Sinabi po namin, sir.
Sinabi niyo kailan?
Before, yes. Before the ano.
Before he signed it?
Yes, sir. Na may 953. But not the exact, the immediate date of that release.
Yan, linaw-linaw na sinabi ko. 953 says, pag life imprisonment, sinabi niya sa iyo, hindi mo pwede pa-approve yan, no? Hindi pwede mapirmahan yan. Pailan mo na Secretary of Justice. Pangalawa, sinasabi diyan, kailangan may certification kayo, di ba? Para tama yung computation. Sinasabi rin diyan na kailangan na malinaw na, ano ba isa? May communication kayo palagi sa Secretary of Justice. Kaya nga sinabi ko, yung list of inmates, release at least 1 month before this final date. Kaya tinanong ko, narinig mo, tinanong ko si Secretary Melo, 1 month before dapat lalabas si Sanchez, dapat sinabihan na niya si Secretary Ibarra. Correct? Right?
Sir, kasi po, nung dumating yung desisyon na Supreme Court, sir, hindi pa po siya, hindi na may bibigay agad ng 1 month kasi po immediately executory po yung desisyon, and we did that to all others who are similarly situated. As between the 953 po at saka yung delay in the release, mas natakot po kami do sa delay in the release.
Pero sinabi mo, the one thing is clear, sinabihan mo si Secretary Pahilanga at si Secretary Pahilanga na dapat inyaw mo na yung 953 bago mo pirmahan. Tama ba yan?
Yes, sir.
Ano sabi niya?
Hindi ko na po
Pinirmahan niya pa rin, so hindi niya sinunod yung advice mo.
Sir, not that...
Answer my question.
Hindi po doon ko sinabi sa kanya yung pagkakataon ng 953.
Answer my question. Sinabi mo, pero pinirmahan pa rin niya.
Hindi ko po nakita nung pinirmahan niya
No. You're evading.
Sanchez,
You're evading. Ang sabi mo, sinabihan mo siya. So, kung sinabihan mo siya, kahit na post facto, pinirmahan niya pa rin, labas ka. Tama ba yan?
Yes, sir.
So, sinabihan mo siya bago niya pirmahan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Don't try to skunk out of here. Lalaki pa yung sunog sa inyo eh.
Yes, sir.
Alright, now, let me go to another point here. Undersecretary Pahilanga, you're an officer, captain of the Marine Corps.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have great respect for Marines.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know that. I've always been supportive of our military. But I just want to be sure, pagka-official ka ng Marine, kailangan you have to have leadership. Kailangan alam mo yung ginagawa mo, kailangan may prudence ka, kailangan ka papasok, atake ka. So kailangan meron kang pinapractice na prudence or, to be expected from an ordinarily exercise by a reasonable and prudent man under the particular circumstances. Dito nakikita mo, malaking kaso ito. Sinabihan ka na ng tao mo, tinuloy mo pa rin. Bakit?
I have never heard him inform me about 953. In fact, that is not the way to do it. If that is indeed true, they should have already sent me a prepared letter of endorsement to the Secretary listing down those supposed to be released for that month, if that is indeed true. It never reaches my office any form in that manner, or did he ever mention this to me? So there was never prior information of this 953 to me, because if that is true, sir, then every time we make releases, then there should be a prepared communication to the Secretary for my signature. But it was never done that manner, Your Honor.
So sinasabi mo, hindi kanya sinabihan?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sure of that, because they should be able to show me a draft memo addressed to the Secretary endorsing the release of that.
Di ba?
Yes, sir. Because hindi naman po ako yung gagawa niyan. It never happened in my 8th month at the Bureau, Your Honor.
Kasi niya, boss, bawal yan. Yung ba sabi sa kanya, boss, meron tayong 953. Hindi mo pwede pirmahan yan. Yung ba sinabi mo?
Sir, I stand corrected, sir. Hindi ko alam kung sa kanya ko direkta sinabi. O
Speak to the microphone and do not mumble.
Hindi ko po matandaan na kung sa staff niya o
Hindi mo
sa kanya.
matandaan, napaka-importante nitong kaso ito, hindi mo matandaan. Go ahead, try your best.
Ang alam ko po, sir, nasabi ko kung sa staff niya o sa admin officer o sa head executive assistant niya nung...
You know, you're dangerously skirting with contempt. Evasive ka eh. Sinabi mo kanina, sinabihan mo si Undersecretary Pahilanga. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, yun lang. Sinabihan mo siya. Ano sabi mo sa kanya? Sir, baka hindi pwede yan. Pag-isipan muna natin. At certainly, in the past, pag kami ginawa kang gano'n, pag kami pipirmahan si Secretary Pahilanga, ikaw ang kukonsultahin niya. Tama?
Sometimes, sir.
Nung isang araw, nakita ko, ayaw kita pagsalitain dahil hindi ka, you were here as a lawyer, di ba? Pero ngayon, pwede ka na magsalita as a person with 20 years experience, no? So ngayon, sinasabi mo, pwede mo na sabihin ngayon na sinabihan mo siya. Right? At ngayon, dapat, kung sinabihan mo siya, alam niya na bawal yon and therefore, nagkamali siya. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, having said that, hindi naman namin gusto mag-content, hindi naman court of law ito, pero nagiging abogado tuloy ako ng litigation dito dahil napipilitan ako dahil pag gano'n tayo eh. Secretary Pahilanga, hindi ba kayo nagulat na ito, napakalaking kaso na ito, papayagan natin lalabas? Person convicted of 9 counts of life imprisonment. Nakalagay sa 953, hindi siya pwedeng palabasin. Hindi kayo nag-isip?
2 weeks prior to the day I received the endorsement of ex-Mayor Sanchez, it is the same lawyer and the other lawyers of the Bureau that I have thoroughly discussed the issues why he is going to be released. And it is the same lawyer as the chief legal who kept on insisting that there is no legal basis to hold any of those 11,000 that
Sino yung lawyer na yun?
Attorney Santos, Your Honor.
Oh.
So this is not just a one sitting, it's several sitting. That's why if you can remember, 3 weeks before the start of this hearing, there is a announcement from the Bureau of Correction and including Secretary of Justice announced that if more or less 11,000 may benefit from GCT, including Sanchez. So it was announced because that is the interpretation and conviction of all the lawyers of the Bureau of Correction. So it was announced publicly, Your Honor. So even without their approval, I stopped the release of Sanchez. Even up to the last moment I stopped it, all the lawyers of the Bureau believe that there is no legal basis to stop the release of Sanchez, Your Honor.
But you know, even the courts will not tolerate the stupidity of a lawyer. And I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just citing so many decided cases and you're aware of that, correct? Nagkamali ang abogado, sinunod, dali pa rin yung kliyente mo, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, having said that, sinasabi niya, mukhang may moral suasion ka sa kanya. Nga, sinabi ko nga, na nandito siya, nakatabi ka niya, hindi siya magsasalita kung hindi ka niya kukonsultahin. So in other words, kinonsulta ka niya. Kinusulta ka niya ba dito?
Yes, sir.
Oh, ano ba sinabi mo?
We believe that 953 is repealed by 10575, sir.
How can it be repealed? Nauna yun eh.
No, sir. 10575 was implemented.
10572.
10575, sir. Bucor Modernization Act was only implemented on May 2018. And that's our basis, sir.
2012 pa pumasa yung batas na yun eh.
But, sir, it's not self-executory, sir.
Sorry?
It's not self-executory.
It is not?
Self-executory, sir.
So?
So, the
With more
IRR...
reason kaya ginawa ito.
Yes, sir. And we only implement the IRR on May 2018, sir.
Look, there were 1,917 or 914 heinous criminals that were sent out. Did you ever, at any time, Mr. Peldon, did you ever at any time inform the Secretary of Justice of all these people that you sent out?
No, Your Honor.
No. And
Yes,
did
sir.
you not advise?
Yes, sir. We did before Sir Peldon. We did send a list of prisoners who are about to be released on their expiration of sentences. Nagpapadala po kami. Ang problema po kasi hindi po nakakasagot before the expiration. Kaya pag nag-expired na, pinapalaya na po namin kasi pinadala na po namin 1 month prior.
Look, you're arguing 1 year, 1 month before the recommendation papadala sa Secretary of Justice. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary, for coming. You're crucial here. Also, Yusek Marco, and also Senator Bato was here earlier, De La Rosa, and of course, so I just want to point out na hindi tama yung sinasabi mo eh. Obviously, nakikinig sa iyo si Mr. Peldon, correct? At ang dami niyang pinawalan. Ang sabi niya dito, Secretary of Justice, ang sabi niya, never did he inform the Secretary of Justice 1 month before, never did he inform the Secretary of Justice about life imprisonment and reclusion perpetua, and never before did he inform the Secretary of Justice of yung mga computation, yung certification. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
If he says that, then that means you never got informed, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't happen to have any document that shows that he did inform you.
As I explained during the first Senate hearing, Mr. Chair, there were certain requests for approval that came to my office, but this was in connection with STAL, or Special Time Allowance for Loyalty.
Loyalty yun.
For loyalty.
But of the 1,914 na pinalabas, wala ka nakuha.
Wala kaming natatandaan, sir, na with respect to the 1,900 na umakyat sa Department of Justice.
All right. And when you found out, did you get mad? Did you tell them, I have an order here, there's an order, department order, but di nyo ginawa?
To be very, very candid and truthful about the matter, Mr. Chair.
I expect no less.
Yes. We ourselves are not completely aware about that Department Order 953 because that was issued way back in 2015.
Yes.
But of course, we are charged with knowledge of all the documents and official papers issued by the department. So when this whole thing came up, we dug our files and came across this Department Order 953 that says that prior approval of the Secretary of Justice would be required if the release would be of persons convicted of, not convicted of heinous crimes, but sentenced to reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment.
But nonetheless, even if you're not aware of that, hindi ba ang last touch dyan dapat, hindi naman last touch, yung dapat gagawa niyan ay yung head ng agency, in this case the Bucor, and obviously because he's not a lawyer, he relies on the lawyer to advise him. But I told them kasi hindi lusot yung mangingi ka ng advice sa lawyer, so Di ba dapat alam niya yon? Di ba pagka in-appoint siya dyan, dapat alam niya yon?
Like anyone else, like any other government official, we are supposed to be charged with knowledge of all the official documents within our department, whether current or prior to our tenure.
Ignoratio legis non excusa. Ignorance of the law does not excuse anyone.
Exactly, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Sir?
Just one final point on this matter. The Attorney Santos insists that the law 105975 was enacted 2012 and 2018 sabi nyo ini-enforce. And so you believe that it is repealed, 953 is repealed. Then why do you keep on citing it in all your memorandum? Lahat ng memorandum nyo, tingnan nyo, mula kay Sanchez and all the way, lahat, sinasabi nyo, references, A, Department Order 953. Eh kung repeal yan, ba't sinasite nyo? Kung naniniwala kayong repeal?
Sir, hindi po sa akin dumaan yung dokumento ng release, sir. Kaya hindi ko po nabasa yan.
Dumaan sa iyo yung dokumento nino?
Ng release po. Ng mga release, hindi po
Lahat ng
dumadaan
release?
sa akin. Dumadaan lang po pag nire-refer sa akin. Pero pag hindi po nire-refer...
Pwede nga pakita nyo nga yung kanilang flow chart. Na andun ka.
Yes, sir. Pero hindi po dumadaan sa akin.
Walang dumaan sa iyo, 1917?
Hindi po dumadaan na release sa akin. Nire-refer lang po nila pagka meron silang problema sa release. Pag may legal question po. Pero pagka wala po, dire-diretso po yan. Hindi po dumadaan sa akin.
Okay, let me just acknowledge Senator Go is here. Thank you very much, Senator. And also, Dante Menes of Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption is also here. So, I was going to ask a few questions more, kay Secretary, but I think you already answered it, no? Using 953. You never got any notices or any letters or any reports from the Bureau of Corrections insofar as the issues there na sinabi doon.
There is something that we found in the records, Mr. Chairman, in connection with all of this requests for prior approval of the SOJ. There was this letter coming from the Bucor sometime in 2018 requesting that the authority to release PDLs on account of expired sentences be delegated to the Bucor chief. I was unaware of this letter until fairly recently.
Who signed that request, sir?
I think it was signed by I don't have this letter with me, Mr. Chair, but somebody, definitely a higher authority from the Bureau of Corrections, requesting that it be delegated, that power, that authority. But there was no action taken by the Department of Justice in connection with that request.
So there was a letter request delegating everything that you mentioned in 953 to the Bucor director. Is that correct?
According to the draft memorandum addressed to me, this was only a draft, but it made mention of a memorandum dated June 4, 2018 from USEC Ronald De La Rosa, Director General, Bureau of Corrections, requesting for the grant of authority for the Director General to approve or act upon the following requests enumerated in Department Order 953. So, nakalista, but the first and foremost is the release of PDLs with expired sentences. No action was taken by the department on this.
Can we get a copy of that, sir?
The letter itself will try to secure a copy.
Yes,
because
sir.
it's not with me. I'm reading the draft memorandum addressed to me in response to that letter. But the letter itself is not with me right now.
For the record, Senator Lacson is present and Senator Dulon is present as well. So basically, I think I will go to the next one. I'll let the others ask questions, man, because we'll go to the witness later on. Any questions from Lisa? You have a question?
DZXL Special Coverage.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At magandang umaga po muli sa lahat ng mga resource persons. Unang-una na po din kay Ms. Camilon. Dahil sa inyo po yung una kong mga tanong. But Mr. Chair, I'm really glad that lumalabas na yung ebidensya na nagpapatotoo sa GCTA for sale na binanggit ko nung nakaraang linggo. It's really shocking to hear about cases ng mga PDL na mayayaman na nakabibili ng GCTA. And what struck me most, Mr. Chair, is the concept of, as mentioned by Sen Ping, the concept of tanim pending, narrated by Mr. Ramoncito Roque. Malaking problema na nga yung may GCTA violation na binubura yung violation pero mas masahol pa yung walang GCTA violation pero ginagawaan. Ang tanong ko po, Mr. Chair, kay Ms. Camilon, considering na madami kayong nakausap na kamag-anak na nakakulong, may nakilala po ba kayo na naging biktima niyang tanim pending na iyan?
Yes po, ma'am.
At sa estimation nyo po, Ms. Camilon, mga ilang pamilya ang nabiktima niyang GCTA for sale scam?
Hindi ko po alam yung eksaktong bilang, ma'am, pero kung humigit po, ang isa po is isa, pero higit na po kami sa 10.
O nga po, nung nakaraang hearing, Ms. Camilon, sabi nyo mga 10 to 20 ang nakausap nyo mismo. Pero kung yung mga nakausap nyo, sabi nyo ngayon higit 10, kung iyang mga nakausap po ninyong higit 10, may mga kakilala pa, posible bang may daan na yung mga inalukan ng GCTA for sale? Tama po kaya, reasonable po kaya yung ganyang estimate?
Yes po, ma'am.
Pwede nyo pa bang bigyan ng elaboration, dagdag na detalye yung komite namin tungkol dyan sa tanim pending na yan? Paano ba nag-ooperate yung scam na iyan?
According po dun sa mga kwento sa akin ng mga ibang pamilya po doon, yun nga po, maraming umaasa kasi time to time din na may mga follow-up sila sa document section. Nabibigyan sila ng mga date ng paglaya ng mga pamilya nila. And then, pag dumating daw po yung date na yon, doon na po lumalabas yung mga pending cases nila.
So, inaalokan muna ng di umano tulong, pero may kapalit, pero pagdating nung araw na ipinangako o pinaasa sa inyo, biglang may sagabal pala, may problema pala.
Mostly po, ganun po ang nangyari, madam.
Ilan kaya yung kumakagat sa ganyang klaseng alok at ilan sa kanila ay naiipit naman sa isang biglang hadlang pagdating nung araw na di umano ipinangako?
Kung sa mga personal ko po kilala, yun nga po, hindi na po higit ng 20. Pero dun sa mga kakilala pa rin po ng mga kakilala ko, marami din po nagsasabi sa kanila.
So parang ang tawag nito? Kung yung unang alok ay tatanggapin nyo, medyo parang madedehado kayo. Pero pag umasa naman kayo, dehado din sa huli.
Ganun po ang nangyayari, ma'am.
Magkano po ba yung hinihingi sa bawat pamilya ng inmate sa ganitong klaseng scam?
Sa ngayon po, wala po akong alam kung magkano po yung exact na amount na hinihingi sa kanila. Basta ang sa akin lang po, yung 50,000 ang talagang diretsahan na hiningi nila sa akin.
Sa tingin niyo po, ganyan ding halaga ang hinihingi sa bawat ibang pamilya ng inmate?
Sa obserbasyon ko po, depende po sa katayuan ng buhay.
Depende po sa katayuan ng buhay. So, parang ano ba yun? Parang socialized tuition fee, ganon? Socialized GCTA for sale?
Opo, kasi sa parte ko po, sinabi kong hindi ko kaya yung mga ganon amount. Kaya nagsabi sila sa akin na kahit yung 50,000 okay na. At saka magaan lang naman daw po ang naging case ng asawa ko.
50,000 ay okay na at magaan naman daw yung kaso ng asawa nyo. So, pwede po nating isipin na sa ibang mga inmate, hindi lang 50,000 yung hihingiin. Lalo na po yung naging mas mabigat ang kaso.
Malamang po ganun.
So, malaki-laking pera po kung imumultiply natin sa dami ng mga pamilya na iba-iba ang may kakayahan sa buhay, iba-iba rin ang gravity ng offense.
Yes po.
So, alam niyo po ba kung ano yung hatian?
Wala na po akong knowledge, ma'am.
Meron po bang, may alam pa po ba kayo na sino pa ang may cut? Sino ang may cut sa ganyang mga hinihingi nila?
Wala na po akong alam, ma'am. Basta silang tatlo lang po na pangalan na na-mention ko, yun lang po ang talagang nakausap ko ng harap-harapan.
At yung ilan po sa kanila ay nandirito rin po ngayong araw sa ating hearing. Salamat po, Ms. Camilon. Mr. Chair, tanong naman po kay Ginoong Roque, isa po sa mga resource persons natin na binanggit ni Ms. Camilon nung nakaraang hearing na diretsahang kausap nila dito sa GCTA for sale na to. Ginoong Roque, yung mga akusasyon ng GCTA for sale na iniharap po ni Ms. Camilon sa inyo ay napakaseryoso po talaga. Grabe pong mga akusasyon. Para po sa ating mga nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno, tatawagin po natin yan malfeasance in public office. So ang tanong ko po sa inyo, isa-subject nyo po ba ang sarili nyo, Ginoong Roque, sa isang lifestyle check? Sir, kung maaari pong sumagot sa mic. So you would subject yourself to a lifestyle check. At maaari po ba kayong mag-submit ng kopya ng inyong SALN sa aming komite?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, may I request your permission for the resource person to submit his SALN and submit himself to a lifestyle check before the committee?
As much as the witness is already agreed, witness is directed to submit your SALN for the last several years.
Thank you,
Maybe
Mr.
about
Chair.
6 years.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And what about the other officials of the Bucor here present? Would you also submit yourselves, sirs, ma'ams, to this lifestyle check and likewise submit a copy of your SALN to the committee, to the chair?
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Santos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any other Bucor officials here present? Ms. Bansil?
And Ms. Bruno.
And Ms.
Miss
Bunyo.
pa ba kayo, Miss?
Ms. Bunyo. So they are likewise directed, Mr. Chair, to submit to the committee. Thank
They're
you, Mr.
directed
Chair.
to submit, again, the lifestyle, submit themselves to a lifestyle check, and as well as the last 6 years of their SALN. Please submit it to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Moving on to former Director General Faildon. Sir, kalat po sa social media yung kaso nitong isang 61-year-old po, dating PDL, nakulong ng 3 taon sa pagnakaw nung tanghalian ng isang estudyante, isang 14-year-old student. Yung tanghalian na ang tawag doon ay bentelog. Yung bail po na set sa 2,000 piso, hindi po niya naibayad. So, nilipat nung RTC yung kaso sa Metropolitan Trial Court. Yung MTC naman, provisionally dinismiss yung kaso at pinadala yung order sa kanyang paglaya. Pero dahil sa technicality na yung release order daw, yung dismissal ay hindi galing sa RTC na nag-utos ng commitment ng inmate, hindi po inaksyonan ng warden yung order ng MTC. Nagka-stroke po si Lolo, tumagal po siya sa bilangguan ng 3 taon. Tama po ba ito, yung ganitong klasing sitwasyon? At lalo na po kung ikumpara natin sa naging sitwasyon ni dating Mayor Sanchez?
Your Honor, I would like to find out the detention of the subject PDL, Your Honor, because based on Bucor law, only PDLs convicted of crime higher than 3 years are turned over by the BJNP to Bucor. But convicted of 3 years and below stays with BJNP until their release. So I'd like to know if there was actually a turnover of this PDL by the BJNP to Bucor or not. I will report to this committee as soon as I come up with a specific of this case, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Or is there any BJMP resource person here this morning? Mr. Chair, if we could recognize Superintendent Rivera.
Superintendent Rivera, you're recognized. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, Madam Senator, good morning. I'm Chief Superintendent Ruel Rivera, the Deputy Chief for Administration of the BJMP. As per your question, ma'am, wala po kaming record po, but we will try to, bibigyan po namin kayo in case meron po niyan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In fact, medyo na-anticipate ni Chief Superintendent Rivera yung isang request ko sa Bucor through the committee. Dahil po on the other side of the coin, Mr. Chair, meron tayong ganitong mga kaso, maitatawag na pauper PDLs, na parang nahuhulog na lang sa cracks ng sistema natin. Wala silang kapangyarihan, wala silang impluensya tulad ng pamilyang Sanchez. And dahil the committee is here trying to reform the penal system, revisiting our policies, maaari po bang i-request sa Bucor mag-submit sa komite ng listahan nung lahat ng mga inmate who have been jailed for more than the length of prison time imposed or possibly to be imposed by the offenses for which they have been convicted or detained, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, of course. The Bucor, Secretary of Justice, Mona. Secretary of Justice is requested to submit to the committee a list of all the prisoners in all the prisons, because I have been working also, my wife has been working also, for the release of people in the women's correctional. In fact, I just got a message from Under Secretary Cora Alma de Leon before that there are still women who have passed their sentence and they are not being released. So, in response to the request of the distinguished lady, we would like to get those list of prisoners. In addition to that, I just want to caution the Bureau of Correctional. We have been trying to get a copy of all the list of the people that you sent out, but all you got is a name and the crime. So we need to get something more specific.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, and also for mentioning the inmates in the women's correctional. Just as an aside, but related to the issues being heard by the committee, may mga concern din po yung ilang mga local chief executives natin, halimbawa po si Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte, which he has brought to the attention both of Senator Duroy de la Rosa and me, yung mga concerns po niya sa mga women inmates na napapabayaan tuloy yung pag-alaga sa kanilang mga anak. And therefore, she's an example of our local chief executives na lumalapit po sa atin dito sa Senado to find out ways through penal reform na masasalo pa rin po yung pag-alaga sa mga anak, ng mga anak nung ating mga
Kaya nga po ang sinasuggest natin, andalin na yung computerization sapagkat makikita nyo lahat kung anong time pumasok yung tao. Kung bata, alam mo na may bata na pumasok at nasa ibang detention facility na for youth, at alam po natin kung gaano katagal na yung tao na doon sa detention prisoner at kailangan dito sa jail natin, yung mga women at saka men, especially yung mga women, marami na talagang graduate na hindi pa nakaka-graduate dahil wala talagang lumalabas na nakakatch sila doon sa bureaucracy. So, again, I reiterate my request to the Secretary of Justice that if we have to put it in the budget this year, I know you have a budget for it, but can you please manifest to us how much you need to make sure that this is computerized so these things will no longer happen, hopefully.
I will, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Moving on po with the Bucor, and of course I will support the Chair in following this up also in our budget debates. Bucor pa rin po, I have with me here and will submit to the committee, to the Chair, a list of elderly PDLs given to me po by the CBCP Commission on Prison Pastoral Care. And may I ask the Bucor to, through the Chair, look at this list and tell the committee kung sino-sino pa po dito ang nakalaya na at sino naman po ay nakakulong pa. Could we just have a response from the Bucor about this?
Your Honor, will submit the list.
Thank you, Attorney Santos. Mr. Chair, in the testimony of Ms. Sanchez in previous hearing, former Director General Faldon apparently told her of the first in, first out policy, which we take to mean na yung unang ipinreso ay unang ipalalaya. Are you confirming this policy, Mr. Faldon?
Yes, sir. That's part of the plans. Actually, there's a committee created upon the resolution of the retroactive effect of GCTA in June. So the Bucor has created a committee to create a policy on the prioritization of the releases of those 11,000 who could possibly benefit from the retroactive effect of GCTA. And priorities in their plan is the petitioner, followed by the first who have been admitted or imprisoned, Your Honor. So, and then following them is the old age. So that is the succession of the plan in releasing the PDLs that may benefit from GCTA, Your Honor.
Sabi niyo, sir, may plano, may nilikhang komite, pero meron din po kayong existing uniform manual. Saan po nakalagay sa uniform manual yung first in, first out policy?
It's, I cannot remember all the provisions of the manual, but naturally, ma'am, when you're the first one to, we're talking about the reclusion perpetuus here, you're the first one to be imprisoned. If there are no legal impediments for your release, you'll be the first one to qualify for release because your expiration, the expiration of your sentence will firstly be served. So, in the case of the current situation, ma'am, all the PDLs accused or have committed crime in 1992 have all been released. And the first 6 months of 93 have all been released. Currently, those who have been in prison or yes, committed their crime in the second half of 93 are now the oldest PDLs in the Bucor facilities, Your Honor.
Pero I seem to recall in the previous hearing, baka si Senping nakapag palabas nito, it came out that there were actually prisoners later in, pero naunang nag-out. So parang kahit sa ganitong alleged first in, first out policy na tinatanong ko po sa inyo, which doesn't seem to be in the uniform manual, hindi rin naman na ipatutupad ng ganyan. And besides po, how can we reconcile this supposed first in, first out policy dun sa policy of deducting prison days for every month of good conduct? Now, iyang GCTA naman blind sa kung anong petsa unang pumasok yung PDL. So, paano po i-reconcile yung ganyang mga contradiction?
Your Honor, the date of the commission of the offense is in the date of final conviction is very critical in the computation of preventive imprisonment while undergoing litigation and the granting of GCTA upon conviction, ma'am. So the date is really very critical. In fact, one of the most critical data in the computation of entitlement to time allowances, Your Honor.
Well, certainly the date is very critical. Pero even more critical yung fairness ng usaping ito ng bawat kaso, kasi hindi naman ito parang bandy clock lang na time in, time out, pero pinag-uusapan talaga yung fairness sa mga kaso. Moving on, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Just housekeeping here. My attention was called by Senator Lacson. Paige, can you move the Bureau of Correctional Personalities? Don't put them together because we will be cross-examining or interpolating some of them here, and they're all beside one another. Can we move the ladies first? Over here. Mabel? Oh, kakatabi kayo eh. All right. Maybe Mabel, you should be here. And Veronica, you should be here on the other side. No. Mabel, dito ka. Sa kaliwa. At saka si Veronica dito. Sensya na kayo at go ahead. Just sit down there, please. Yeah, dito. Yeah. Okay? Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ito po yung detalye that I was referring to earlier, and yes, I confirmed with my staff. It was Senping who brought this out in the previous hearing. For example, in the Chong case, Aznar was released in 1997. Also, Mr. Chair, we have a video of a woman whose father was imprisoned in 1995. So the Chong case, the conviction was in 1997, but Aznar was already released. So, Mr. Chair, moving on to the DOJ and for the Good Secretary. Mr. Chair, I understand that the GCTA policy has now been suspended. May I ask the Good Secretary what exactly has been suspended? Yung po bang retroactive application o yung application ng batas para sa mga PDLs incarcerated before 2013? Suspended po ba yung GCTA program for offenders of heinous crimes o yung buong GCTA program for all PDLs?
You're on your third 5 minutes. The gentleman has already consumed more than 10 minutes.
I see, Mr. Chair. So if I could just ask this last question of the DOJ, then I'll stay around for my... Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll stay for the next round.
Ang sinuspend lang po ng Department of Justice ay ang processing ng good conduct time allowance. In the meantime, that the joint DOJ-DILG Joint Committee for the review of the IRR and its possible amendment is going on. It's a temporary measure which is designed to make sure that the processing of GCTAs would be proper and correct. We believe that it's more important that we slow down for a while, if not to pause, just to make sure that everything will be all right. Because if we do not suspend, then that means to say this erroneous practice will continue to be done, even as we are reviewing the apparently erroneous IRR, which interpreted by practice the meaning of the law itself quite erroneously. So the law itself, the effectivity of the law itself granting GCTAs, Madam, is not suspended because they continue to earn GCTA. Those people who are entitled to good conduct continue to earn GCTA. It's just that the processing has been suspended.
I understand, Mr. Chair. I'll suspend my questioning for the second round, only to say for now na I'm assured that yung sinabi ni good secretary, that this slowing down, this pause is a temporary measure, and I'm confident that the department will set things right with the advice of the committee under the leadership of the chair. Lalo na po dahil in the second round, I'll bring up follow-up questions, for example, regarding the case of Nicanor Naz, na i-feature na po siya sa Inquirer. Isa po siya sa nag-turn in ulit sa sarili niya nung lumabas yung utos tungkol nito ni Presidente. So questions about how DOJ will ensure that the rights of such persons are protected and their rehabilitation continues. Pati po yung tracking down na di umano ay nangyayari para sa reincarceration. What the procedure is exactly and how the thoughts of the department on how this might run afoul of the constitutional prohibition on ex post facto laws. And lastly, of course, Mr. Chair, just some follow-up questions on possible policy reforms. So maraming salamat for now sa mga resource persons. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Risa. We shall now have Senator De La Rosa. You went out, but I will give you good conduct allowance, so you can ask your questions now. Later. Okay, all right. Thank you. Senator Go, you're on the floor. Later. All right. Okay. Senator Lacson.
I'm still waiting for some materials, Mr. Chairman. So I would like to defer to the next interpellator.
Senator De London. I have some questions too, but anyway, go ahead.
DZXL Special Coverage. DZXL Special Coverage.
The way Mr. Evangelista of the VACC is here. I did not recognize him earlier. Hey, good morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. When was what date issued memorandum ordering the release of Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Feldon? Is it August 10 or August 14?
August 20, Your Honor.
Are you sure it's August 20? Because I just saw a document. What can the chair help us on this? Is it August 20, sir? Huh? August 20? August 20 ba yan?
Yes.
All right. Anyway, August 20. Now, you are aware that under Section 3 of the rules on the good conduct time allowance law, there is a management screening and evaluation committee, or MSEC. Do you recall that, Mr. Feldon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, in fact, under your own rules, you are, as director of the Bucor, mandated to assess, evaluate, grant time deduction to deserving prisoners in the form of good conduct time allowance as prescribed by these rules through the creation of the Management Screening Evaluation Committee. Do you recall that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, obvious question, how did you form the MSEC?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a creation of special MSEC headed by the Director, Deputy Director General for Reformation as the final review committee after this MSEC is initially passed by the local MSEC of all the PDS. This is the national MSEC that reviews the recommendation of GCTA before it reaches my office, and it is covered by orders, and this is headed by the Deputy Director General for Reformation, Your Honor. So they sign these documents before it reaches my office. It is signed by that office and officer, Your Honor.
So there is an MSEC committee, there is an MSEC body that reviews this recommendation or computation before it reaches you.
Yes, sir. It passes to MSEC, Your Honor. One local MSEC that is from the facilities that specific person deprived of liberty is evaluated, and then it will be reviewed by the national MSEC headed by the Deputy Director General for Reformation, Your Honor.
I'm just talking about the prisoners in the under the jurisdiction of the Bucor. The way I understand the rules is that there is an MSEC in, let's say, in Bucor, in Muntinlupa.
Yes, sir. There is one there, and after the MSEC in New Bilibid, there's also be another MSEC that reviews it. This is not the national headquarters MSEC, headed by a Deputy Director General, Your Honor.
All right. Under the rules, the very specific, the MSEC shall prepare minutes of every meeting to record its proceeding. Do you have the minutes of these proceedings? It is mandatory that that the MSEC prepares minutes. Meron mong ganito?
I would like to refer that to...
Yes, is there minutes prepared? I would like to look at this.
Yes, Your Honor. We already submitted that.
I'm sorry?
We already submitted that to the committee.
Is the minutes of August 6 the one you're referring to?
I don't know if the August 6 minutes is included, but we'll check on it, Your Honor.
Is there an MSEC minutes of the meeting for specifically taking up the application of the good conduct time allowance law on Mayor Antonio Sanchez?
I'll check on that.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'll check on that, Your Honor.
I'll check on that, or
because we have already submitted the minutes.
have they submitted? Meron ba?
August 8.
August 6?
August 6 what?
I'm looking at August 6.
August 6 or August 8?
Well, anyways,
Honor, hindi ko po kabisado kung ano yung exact.
Obviously, what I'm looking for are the minutes of your meeting which specifically dealt on the application of the CGTA law on Mr. Sanchez. Meron bang ganon?
I have no... I have no
Wala?
knowledge, Your Honor.
You have no knowledge.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you have submitted all the minutes of MSEC during the pertinent period.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we have to check the records whether or not the MSEC specifically went over the eligibility of Mr. Sanchez on the good conduct time allowance. Okay. Meron ba? Is it not correct that you must deliberate on each prisoner who is eligible for good conduct time allowance through the MSEC?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the general
Yes.
rule.
So that if you indeed reviewed the eligibility of Mr. Sanchez, then it should be in the minutes. I'm just curious.
Yes, Your Honor. But prior to the 10575, nung pumasok po si PDL Sanchez, meron na pong classification board na kasi po wala pang MSEC before 2013, Your Honor.
Obviously, I'm looking at the MSEC on or about the period when the order to release Mr. Sanchez was issued. In other words, I'm looking at whether or not the Bucor chief acted on his own or upon the recommendation of the MSEC. And I do not have that information right now. All right, can we produce that information? Now, under the rules, there is also a prioritization of the releases. And this is important.
At yan po ang ating special coverage at kasalukuyan pong nagaganap ang Senate hearing tungkol sa GCTA law at mamaya po ipagpapatuloy po natin yan pagkatapos ng ating RMN News Nationwide. At maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga tumutok sa ating programa ngayong araw na ito. Magbabalik po tayo ulit bukas para sa iba pang mga maiinit na balita dito sa Usapang Trabaho. Again, susunod na po ang RMN News Nationwide kasama sina Radyoman Buddy Oberas at Radyoman Rod Marcelino. At ipapagpatuloy natin ang ating special coverage mamaya lamang po matapos ang RMN News Nationwide. Ako po ang inyong Radyoman Ramsey Tirona. Sa inyong lahat, maraming salamat at ang oras natin alas 11:53.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
That news was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing